Well, Bernie Sanders in an op-ed for FoxNews.com saying, quote, when Donald Trump ran for president, he made a lot of promises to working families. He told them that he would protect their interests while standing up to the establishment. Unfortunately, he did not tell the truth. Joining us now is president of American Action Forum, former CBO director Doug Holtz-Eakin. So, Doug, clearly Sanders is using Bethlehem as a symbol of a broken promise by Trump. But how has manufacturing actually fared under President Trump?
Well, we've seen the economy steadily strengthen since the beginning of 2017. It had a recent low of 1.3% year-over-year growth in the second quarter of 2016. It was up to 3% at the end of 2018. It may moderate slightly, but it's much, much better. And you know the unemployment rate. You know the fact that the wages are now growing at about 3.2% per year, up 50% over the past 18 months. So, you know, we're seeing all the things that the president promised come out in the data, and that's the key.
I think it's interesting. I mean, manufacturing jobs in particular up over 500,000, I think, since President Trump was elected. Surely in a place like Bethlehem, that really resonates. I can't imagine that people who voted for President Trump on his agenda in 2016 would really be swayed by Bernie Sanders, that they're so polar opposite in how they want to fix the problem. Small government, big government, et cetera. Do you think that there are a lot of people who think those are equivalently good answers to the plight of the working man?
I'm with you. I find this mysterious what people would find appealing about this and switch from voting for the president to Senator Sanders. But, you know, I think he's counting on disaffection. A big part of his message is, you know, there's someone richer than you, someone more powerful than you. They're taking advantage of you, and I'm going to go get things for you. And literally, we're going to tax them, and I'm going to give them to you. So it's by no means a small government agenda. We know that. And I think it'll be interesting to see how much time he spends tonight on health care, because that is the issue that Democrats feel was the Achilles heel of Republicans in the midterm elections. And I would expect Senator Sanders to go right after that in his town hall tonight.
Douglas, Gary Kaltbaum here. Manufacturing numbers strong as can be. Employment doing very well. Market strong. I attribute it to the tax cuts. I attribute it to the regulatory cuts. Yet it seems to me the Republicans are shy. I don't see them yelling and screaming like the socialists yell and scream about how we need them so badly. Do you suspect as we head into 2020 that maybe some Republicans are going to, you know, grow some and start yelling and screaming that these numbers are damn good and are really good for the economy as well as the people of this country?
I certainly hope so. I think there does need to be some genuine public education about what produces economic success. I mean, we saw 8 years of the Obama administration, heavy regulations, stunning amounts of regulations, actually, over $100 billion a year, every year for 8 straight years in new regulatory costs. That's a big burden on the economy. There's been a U-turn on that. I mean, it has been dead flat under President Trump. We saw the tax cuts. We saw the ability for people to start businesses and grow businesses again. That's the key to economic success, and I think that message needs to be out there much more vocally. I agree with you on that.
Douglas, what is the obsession with manufacturing? It almost seems like that's become virtue signaling on the right, is to say you're for manufacturing. I mean, 100 years ago, about 90% of this country was farmers. We're only about 1% farmers today. I'm glad that previous presidents didn't protect those agricultural jobs. Even with the president's gains in manufacturing, we have about 10 million less manufacturing jobs than just in 1980. So why is it such a big thing that the president emphasized manufacturing jobs over service jobs or any other types of jobs?
Well, I think it's really interesting. You're right about the way the economy has been transformed. If you look at the fractions of income, fractions of output in the economy, we used to be basically all agriculture, a little manufacturing. And what we have done over about 250 years is swap from agriculture to services, with the fraction being in manufacturing not really changing all that much and taking many fewer workers to produce it. A lot of productivity growth in manufacturing. So I don't think we should be opposed to service sector jobs. We are right now engaged in the service sector. Seems pretty good to me. So the manufacturing jobs have an appeal in the sort of legacy of this country, but the future is going to include a lot of things that aren't manufacturing jobs. The key is that those jobs appear plentiful and get rewarded. The wages are rising, and that's the recipe he needs.
Doug Holtz-Eakin, always great to see you, Doug. Thank you very much. Please come back and see us again soon.